This tutorial introduces the NURBS curve editing tools. Each curve will appear within its own draw panel, accompanied by a NURBS surface toolbar, which will be covered in a later tutorial. If you right-click the blue spline, its control points will be highlighted yellow. One will be green, indicating that it's selected. Yellow control point handles are visible, attached to selected control points. One handle for open curve endpoints and two for all others. Control point handles are used to change the shape of spline segments. Handle length is proportional to the amount of change that it introduces as you move it to alter the direction of a spline segment, very similar to pen tools in illustration programs. By default, the Curve Edit toolbar opens with the Move Point tool selected, which allows you to left-click drag to reposition existing points in the Draw panel. Right-click drag move the point up and down in the Z-axis off the Draw panel surface. The Draw New Curve Point tool will continue an open curve from its last placed point, and the Close Curve tool will connect open curve endpoints. You can also open any closed curve by selecting a point and then clicking the Open Curve tool. In this example, we'll click the Insert New Curve Point tool and then click on the spline to place a point where we'd like the curve to open. We then click the Open Curve tool and move the point to open the curve. The Delete Curve Point tool is used by selecting a point and then clicking the tool. Use it to simplify curves and to correct mistakes as well. Control points can be smooth or have sharp corners. Use the curve parameter toggles to determine whether the sharp and smooth tools will affect just the selected point or all the points on the spline. Clicking these tools changes the currently selected point. We'll change all points to sharp corners and then select a few to be smooth so that we have a combination in the same curve. By pressing the Control key, you can move the handles independently of each other for greater precision, or move the control point, leaving the handle ends anchored in place. Right-clicking any polygon tool brings up the NURBS Curves options, including the ability to show all the handles of a curve at once. Very useful should you find yourself with a point that refuses to move, because it's likely that the cause is a control handle bumping into the edge of its draw panel. Here we seem to be unable to move this point closer to this edge. Revealing all handles shows that the culprit is a neighboring control handle. Adjust the offending handle or simply rescale the draw panel. This is also related to the Smooth Edit option, which is enabled by default. Check off the All Handles box and look what happens to neighboring handles when we move this control point. Now uncheck Smooth Edit and repeat to see an example of what's really happening. Finally, we have the Start New Curve tool, which deselects our current curve and activates the Add Curve tool.